やつとなら少しは楽しい勝負ができそうだぜ。
Alright, y'all, so LR Tien does come out later tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at him and what he's able to do. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't actually gonna be excited for this character. I think that this is a good release before Global Dokkan Celebration happens. Just a character that I think really needed representation, and I think for a lot of people, it will realistically be an easy skip. If you were expecting to see him though, it's a bit difficult because this guy's actually also very, very good. And again, we'll talk about his kit here, but he is a rainbow. We'll go ahead and do this with Tao Pai by Limits in slot 1, and we'll let Tien just sit in slot 2 first. We can see, you know, his battle motion is really cool right there. I do love that. And again, I've actually been waiting for a 22nd World Tournament Tien myself for a while, so this is a very exciting release for me. Now, Tien does do very basic but good things. Again, he gets Key 4 to 8 randomly at the start of turn for 10 turns. He gets Key 2 and 250% attack and defense, and that gives all allies 30% defense for 2 turns. So just a very strong start of turn passive, plus he is providing multi-turn support. And then before receiving an attack within the turn, he gets 75% damage reduction rate. So even if he's in slot 2, the very first attack he'd actually receive is actually going to be 75% damage reduction. He'll have that ability up, so he's pretty much going to take very, very, very little damage from that attack in most situations, which is, again, going to be very powerful for this guy. Now, we'll talk about him in slot 1 the next turn because we're going to run him in slot 2 here. But again, as a slot 2 character, he's more offensively based. He gets 100% attack, 200% defense, and then becomes super effective against all types for 4 turns. Then he gets 400% attack, 200% defense, and a 70% chance to evade enemies' attack when attacking. That is also in the second or third attacker spots. He does have a Ki Blast counter. I'm not really sure if we're gonna see that too often, at least in these red zone fights, but we could potentially see it, you know, in one of the other fights that we might take him into in another video. But I'm just gonna get a general first look at this guy. We're gonna see what he's able to do just himself, and this is a turn with no support starting off, which I do really like that we're able to see like a no support turn instantly, just so that we could then see, okay, once we start getting these supports rolling around, how good is he actually gonna start looking? Because I think he can start to look very impressive. So alright, so Tien is shooting out a 52 million attack stat right here, and we see the 70% chance to dodge. And yeah, okay, honestly pretty good so far. Just a 52 mil attack stat. He's super effective. Obviously additionals and, like, you know, things like that would be helpful when it comes to this, because you don't have a ally to give this guy generally his mission execution, like, you know, support. That's fine. Anyways, I do think that Tien himself is just generally going to be good as a character though. So oh man, we're not getting 5 key spheres with Bulma either. The key just didn't plan out. Let me just reset actually, and we'll come back. Alright, so we got Tien in a slot 1 situation here. We're just gonna put him right there, right? We're gonna start getting Glorial support. We actually do have Bulma and Patrick Goku multi-turn support here, so that's pretty good. Now Tien, when he is the first attacker in the turn, he gets 400% defense, which again is a really, really big buff. He gets 30% damage reduction rate. Then for 3 turns, he gets Key 3, 100% attack, 200% defense, and damage reduction rate 20% for 3 turns again. So again, this is also after receiving an attack, so this will actually be a multiplicative buff if I'm not mistaken, since it's like during the attacking phase and not just being in slot 1. Compared to, again, as the second or third attacker, this is after receiving an attack. This guy's gonna get so much defense when he receives an attack. That first attack will have this 75% reduction. Then if you keep him in the first slot the next turn, he has a 95% reduction in the very first attack he receives, which is very nasty. And even after that, he still has 50%. So that's really good. But let's go ahead and let Glorio just grab that key sphere right there. And let's see what Tien's able to do in slot 1. he will again continue to greatly stack attack. Actually, I don't think I talked about that, but on his 18 key super attack, he does greatly stack attack for the rest of the fight. So he's going to continue getting stronger and stronger. Then he does lower attack and defense on his 12 key super attack. On his no, on his 8 key super attack as well. On his 12 key, he doesn't normally raise attack for just the one turn, and then also lowers attack on defense. Sorry if I made that confusing. 18 keys greatly raise attack for the rest of battle, and then he also lowers attack and defense, right? That's how it works. Alright, I'm probably gonna sit Tien in slot 1 again here just cause I don't want to. I think Tao Pai Pai would potentially kill the boss here, even though he's not gonna get a lot of Rainbow Key Spheres. So we're gonna let Tien do his thing and make sure he guaranteed gets an extra stack here. So this is gonna be him like, okay, he's just in slot 1, and you like basically never run him in slot 2. We do have Pat the Pirate Kid Goku as well, giving us the extra 50% support. So let's see what Tien's able to do. Defensively, it's like very hard to kind of show Tien doing his thing, because Tien, oh, he got deep up there. It's not the biggest deal though. Again, defensively, obviously, it's going to be a bit tough because so much of his defense he gets when receiving an attack, after receiving an attack, right? So you're just not going to really understand how tanky it is unless you just do the math yourself, or alternatively, you are also able to like just take him against a super and see what he does, which is kind of... STR Jiren is like the hardest hitting super in the game. So that's what we're going to show him against, the STR Jiren super if possible, which would be best case scenario. Very funny, Kato Pesla did seal Tao last turn. We're gonna go ahead and grab this with you. Tien doesn't actually need to get a lot of key here because Bulma will support him. So we'll give this to Tien and make sure Bulma gets all these key spheres. So again, Tien is going to get, again, the 3 key support from Bulma, and he's gonna like start looking pretty good, honestly, in the second slot, because he has this first slot 3 turns buff, so he's getting an extra 100% attack here. He might do a very nasty attack stack, because we're getting the Mercenary Tao, the General Blue support from last turn. Ooh, even Tao himself, 82 million right there. Yeah, all these attack links that he's getting. Crane Schools 20% attack, Dodon Race 15% attack, right? Like that's huge for this Tien and this Tao. Yeah, dude, look at, he's like a 98 mil attack stat here. Yeah. Just a straight 98 mil attack stat, super effective. That's disgusting. And we have the active skill that we're gonna be able to use. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no Bulma active or anything either, dude. That's gross. Alright, so Tien is built up a little here. We're gonna put him in slot 1, get that attack, that slot 1 passive again once last time. If we could see him against this Topo super attack, that would also be best case scenario. We'll give Tao Pai Pai these 2 key spheres. And again, we'll see what damage Tien's gonna be able to do. He heals a Dokkan attack, actually. We probably will finish the phase off, I assume, after Tao attacks. Tao only got 2 Rainbow Key Spheres, though, so I'm not sure yet. 32 mil. I think with this Dokkan attack, though, we should have enough juice to go ahead and things, especially because Gloria at the end, he can get a couple supers off, and he might be just fine overall. Hopefully, I mean, ideally, Gloria gets like 1 or 2 supers, though, as well, just because. I think that would be really beneficial. To make sure that he's able to get a couple stacks. Ooh, yeah, okay. He's got his additional, actually. Okay. So this is something I haven't seen yet. So this is the additional. Yeah. Just a little bit of an extra attack buff, sure. Super me, Topo? No super? Okay, well, Topo is just, like, not supering. He didn't super last turn either, by the way, which is why I'm saying that. So, well, there's Tien. Next turn, Tien is going to do a really, really massive attack stack. Actually, General Blue or Bulma might be dead here, so we'll see. Yeah, okay. Ah, man! Alright, so we got a pretty good rotation here. We have Pat the Pirate Kid Goku supporting. We had the Bulma support overlapping. L'Oreal supports overlapping. We also have General Blue support turning over to this turn. So this is essentially going to be Tien looking in his like best scenario here. We have a couple of super attack stacks. I mean, we saw he did do 4 super attacks in total, so he did actually do get 4 stacks, which I think in certain events you might be able to get more, but this is just kind of juicing this guy a little bit, and we're gonna see what he's able to do with his active skill. We'll play it right now and see the type of damage he could accomplish.
行くぞ。狙いは産舞台だ。気候風。
Alright, so that didn't really do a lot of damage because he didn't crit. Now, if he got a lot of more stacks or a lot of extra crit stuff, that would have been helpful. We could see also his passive from being in slot 2 did activate the 400% attack. I'm actually going to keep him in slot 2 though, just so we can get as much attack as possible here. That's kind of my idea. Tao, I don't really care about the attack he's doing actually. We're going to go ahead and make sure Path Park gets as many orbs as possible. 6 or 7 right here actually will be we'll go for the 6 actually because the extra reduction in case he gets supered. I guess it doesn't really matter, but we're gonna see what Tien could do in terms of attack. He has almost every link active. This should be a pretty big attack stat here, like actually genuinely big attack stat. Now Tien's active skill does give him 24 ki, and again, it does do the ultimate damage, but it doesn't give him any other buff outside of that. 24 ki is obviously very good. It can be used from the 5th turn from the start of battle, or if there's a Kamehameha or Turtle School enemy, which, is not uncommon at all to see that actually. Tao Pai Pai should obviously live this pretty well. Tao Pai Pai is again very tanky, especially with pad power. Double-digit tanking very, very easily. But now let's see what Tien is able to do here in this turn, attack stat wise. Yeah, 115 million attack stat. It is just a single attack stat, but we see super effective there. And I mean, yeah, looks pretty good to me overall. And we see he has a 70% chance to dodge kind of kicking into with his reduction of 75% just in case he gets hit. But that's pretty much it for Tien here. Alright y'all, so let me know what you guys are thinking about the new LR Tien. I think he's very good, but definitely you want to go ahead and skip him, especially if you don't have the Tao team. I feel like this is by far his best setup, and just say for Global Dokkan Celebration, this is my personal recommendation, but let me know what you guys are going to do. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.